The unexpected message. The night was unusually quiet at the Andromeda Deep Space Research Facility. Dr. Marcus Rodriguez leaned back in his chair, his eyes heavy from hours of monitoring the vast, seemingly empty expanses of space. The gentle hum of sophisticated equipment filled the room, a constant companion to the astronomers who spent their nights searching for something, anything, beyond the silence. It was 2:37 a.m. when everything changed. A sharp, piercing sound erupted from the primary signal analyzer. Marcus jolted upright, his fatigue instantly replaced by an electric surge of adrenaline. The computer screens flickered with an intricate pattern of signals that defied immediate comprehension. This was no random cosmic noise. This was deliberate. This was intelligent. "Professor Kaminsky," Marcus shouted, his voice cracking with excitement. "You need to see this." Elena Kaminsky, the facility's lead researcher, rushed into the monitoring room. Her keen eyes scanned the data rapidly, her mind working at lightning speed to process the impossible information unfolding before them. "It's a message," she whispered, her voice a mixture of disbelief and wonder. "An actual, structured communication from somewhere." The signal was complex, layered with mathematical sequences that seemed to be both a greeting and a primer for understanding. Unlike the simplistic radio waves humans had been broadcasting into space for decades, this transmission was a sophisticated linguistic and mathematical construct. Within hours, the global scientific community was in an uproar. News stations around the world broadcast the discovery. Governments scrambled to form emergency committees. The United Nations convened an unprecedented emergency session. Dr. Rodriguez found himself at the center of a media storm. Journalists from every corner of the globe wanted to know the details of the transmission. Where did it come from? What did it say? What did it mean for humanity? "We're still decoding the message," Marcus would repeatedly explain, his excitement barely contained. "But what we can confirm is that this is not a natural phenomenon. Someone, or something, is trying to communicate with us." The transmission originated from a star system in the Sculptor constellation, approximately 45 light-years from Earth. Initial analyses suggested a civilization far more technologically advanced than humanity. The message seemed to be both an introduction and an invitation. Global reactions were predictably varied. Some saw it as humanity's greatest moment, proof that we were not alone in the universe. Others viewed it with suspicion and fear. Religious leaders debated the theological implications. Conspiracy theorists had a field day. At the Andromeda facility, Marcus and Elena worked around the clock. They assembled a diverse team of linguists, mathematicians, physicists, and computer scientists. Each brought a unique perspective to deciphering the alien communication. Dr. Aisha Patel, a brilliant computational linguist, made the first breakthrough. "It's not just a message," she explained during a global press conference. "It's a complex communication system designed to be understood. They're essentially providing us with the key to translate their language." The mathematical foundations of the message were elegant and universal. Prime numbers, fundamental physical constants, and intricate geometric proofs formed the backbone of the communication. It was as if the alien civilization had designed a perfect Rosetta Stone for interstellar communication. As days turned into weeks, more of the message became clear. It was a greeting, a peaceful outreach, a desire to connect. "We are the unknown." The translated message read, "We have been watching. We wish to communicate." The world held its breath. Humanity stood at the precipice of its greatest adventure. First contact was no longer the stuff of science fiction. It was happening, right here, right now. And no one knew what would happen next. The diplomatic dance. 3 months after the initial transmission, the world had transformed. The United Nations Extraterrestrial Communication Council, UEC, had become the most watched and most funded organization on the planet. Every decision, every communication was scrutinized by billions of eyes, hungry for information about humanity's first alien contact. Dr. Marcus Rodriguez found himself thrust into a role he never expected. No longer just a researcher, he was now a key diplomatic advisor, bridging the gap between scientific interpretation and global policy. The alien civilization, which they had begun to call the Sculptors, continued to send intricate messages, each transmission revealing more about their nature and intentions. Elena Kaminsky led the decryption team, working tirelessly to understand the nuanced communication. The Sculptors' language was unlike anything humans had ever encountered. It was simultaneously mathematical and poetic, with layers of meaning that required multiple levels of interpretation. "It's like they're teaching us how to communicate as much as they're communicating," Elena explained during a classified briefing. "Each message is both a communication and a lesson in understanding." The first major challenge came with establishing a consistent communication protocol. The time delay was significant. Each message took 45 light-years to travel, meaning a single exchange could take nearly a century. This fundamental limitation forced humanity to think in generational terms. Global reactions remained mixed. The International Security Council remained on high alert, with military strategists developing countless scenarios for potential threats. Meanwhile, scientific institutions celebrated the unprecedented opportunity for knowledge exchange. Dr. Aisha Patel discovered something remarkable in the transmission patterns. The Sculptors were not just sending messages, they were slowly introducing humanity to increasingly complex concepts. Mathematical theorems that challenged existing scientific understanding began to emerge. Hints of technological principles far beyond human comprehension were carefully woven into each communication. The economic impact was immediate and profound. Tech companies and research institutions scrambled to interpret the alien knowledge. Governments redirected massive resources into space research and communication technologies. The global economy began to shift, with nations competing to be at the forefront of this new interstellar dialogue. Not everyone was enthusiastic. Religious leaders debated the theological implications of extraterrestrial intelligence. Some saw the Sculptors as a threat, while others viewed them as a potential divine revelation. Conspiracy theories proliferated across social media and underground networks. Marcus Rodriguez found himself mediating between scientific enthusiasm and political caution. During a critical UN meeting, he presented the latest findings. "The Sculptors are not just sending a message," he explained. "They're extending an invitation to a dialogue that could reshape human understanding of the universe." The most intriguing aspect was the Sculptors' apparent patience. Their messages suggested no urgency, no threat. They seemed content to slowly build understanding, introducing complex concepts at a pace humanity could absorb. A breakthrough came when the decryption team discovered what appeared to be cultural information embedded within the scientific transmissions. Fragments of art, glimpses of architectural concepts, and hints of a social structure began to emerge. The Sculptors were not just sharing knowledge, they were sharing their essence. Elena Kaminsky noticed a pattern that sent chills down her spine. Hidden within the mathematical proofs were subtle references to something the Sculptors called the Great Filter, a cosmic threat that seemed to have destroyed previous civilizations. It was a warning, carefully disguised within layers of scientific data. As the year progressed, humanity found itself in an unprecedented position. We were no longer alone in the universe, but we were also not yet truly connected. Each message from the Sculptors was a puzzle, a challenge, an invitation to grow and understand. The diplomatic dance had begun. Humanity was learning to waltz with an alien civilization, one mathematical proof at a time. And nobody knew where the music would lead. Technological leap. The year 2087 marked a turning point in human history. What had begun as a cryptic message from the Sculptors had transformed into a technological renaissance that reshaped every aspect of human civilization. Dr. Zara Novak stood in the gleaming central hub of the Global Technological Integration Center, watching holographic displays that mapped humanity's unprecedented progress. The alien transmissions had become more than just messages. They were blueprints of innovation that challenged everything humans, thought they knew about science and technology. The first major breakthrough came with quantum communication technologies. Principles hidden within the sculptor's transmissions allowed humans to develop instantaneous communication methods that rendered traditional internet technologies obsolete overnight. Global communication networks transformed, creating a level of connectivity that seemed like magic just decades earlier. Energy production underwent a revolutionary change. The sculptors had embedded within their messages complex diagrams that suggested entirely new approaches to fusion and quantum energy extraction. Dr. Marcus Rodriguez, now the lead director of the Interstellar Research Initiative, oversaw the implementation of these groundbreaking technologies. "It's not just about receiving information," Marcus explained during a global broadcast. "The sculptors are teaching us how to think differently. Each transmission is a lesson in reimagining what's possible." Space exploration accelerated at an unprecedented rate. The first permanent lunar base expanded into a fully functional research and manufacturing complex. Mars colonization, once a distant dream, became a rapidly developing reality. Asteroid mining operations transformed the global economy, making rare resources abundantly available. Dr. Elena Kaminsky led a team that decoded advanced materials science principles from the alien transmissions. They developed quantum-stable materials that could withstand extreme conditions, revolutionizing everything from construction to space exploration. Lightweight, nearly indestructible materials became the new standard in engineering. Not everyone welcomed these changes. Political tensions emerged as some nations feared losing their technological advantages. The global power dynamics began to shift, with technological capability becoming the new measure of national strength. Aisha Patel's linguistic research team made another crucial discovery. The sculptor's communication was more than just a language. It was a complex system of knowledge transfer that seemed designed to gradually elevate technological understanding. Each message was a carefully crafted lesson, introducing concepts just beyond human comprehension. The most controversial development came from the medical research sector. Alien-inspired biotechnology began to address previously incurable diseases. Genetic therapies that could reverse aging, cure genetic disorders, and enhance human capabilities moved from science fiction to reality. A global debate erupted. How much should humanity integrate these alien technologies? What were the ethical implications of technologies that could fundamentally change human biology and society? The sculptors seemed to anticipate these concerns. Their transmissions began to include subtle ethical guidelines, philosophical considerations that suggested a deep understanding of the potential dangers of rapid technological advancement. Military strategists worked overtime to understand the potential defensive capabilities suggested in the alien communications. New defensive technologies emerged that could neutralize potential threats from space, creating a level of planetary security never before imagined. Space telescopes, enhanced by sculptor-inspired technologies, began mapping distant star systems with unprecedented clarity. Humanity's understanding of the universe expanded exponentially. What was once the realm of speculation became measurable, observable science. Dr. Zora Novak understood the deeper significance of these changes. "We're not just receiving technology," she told her research team. "We're being invited to evolve. The sculptors are presenting us with a challenge to grow, to adapt, to become something more than we were." As the year drew to a close, humanity stood at a crossroads. The technological leap was unprecedented, but so were the questions it raised. What was the ultimate purpose of these transmissions? What did the sculptors truly want? The diplomatic dance had become a technological waltz, with humanity learning new steps with each passing transmission. And in the vast darkness of space, something was watching and waiting, the hidden threat. The transmission arrived on a cold December morning, its complexity sending shockwaves through the global scientific community. Dr. Zora Novak's hands trembled as she decrypted the message, revealing a terrifying cosmic puzzle that would challenge everything humanity had learned about the universe. The sculptors had been preparing them for this moment all along. Encoded within years of seemingly innocuous scientific exchanges was a comprehensive warning about what they called the void dissolution, a cosmic phenomenon that had systematically erased entire civilizations across multiple star systems. The message was both a revelation and a desperate plea for collective action. Dr. Marcus Rodriguez assembled an emergency council of the world's top scientists, military strategists, and diplomatic experts. The holographic display in the United Nations Extraterrestrial Threat Assessment Center revealed a chilling pattern. Civilizations across multiple star systems had disappeared, not through war or natural disaster, but through a process that defied current scientific understanding. It's like something is consuming entire civilizations, Alina Kaminsky explained, her voice hushed with a mixture of scientific curiosity and profound fear. Not just destroying them, but systematically erasing their existence. The sculptors had been collecting data for millennia, tracking the progression of this cosmic threat. Their transmissions were not just an attempt at communication, but a comprehensive strategy to prepare humanity for a challenge beyond imagination. Satellite networks, enhanced by alien technologies, began scanning the cosmos with unprecedented precision. What they discovered was both beautiful and terrifying. Entire star systems showed signs of gradual dissolution, not through conventional means, but through a process that seemed to unravel the fundamental fabric of space-time itself. Global resources were immediately redirected. The space exploration programs that had been steadily expanding now became humanity's front line of defense. Every technological breakthrough from the previous years was repurposed, every scientific theory reconsidered in light of this new threat. Dr. Aisha Patel's linguistic team made a breakthrough that sent a ripple of hope through the scientific community. The sculptors had been gradually teaching humanity not just technologies, but entire new paradigms of thinking. Their communications were a form of cosmic preparation, a method of elevating human understanding to a level where they might comprehend and potentially combat the threat. Military strategists worked alongside quantum physicists, astronomers alongside philosophers. The threat demanded a holistic approach that transcended traditional disciplinary boundaries. The first real-world test came unexpectedly. A distant star system, previously thought to be stable, began showing signs of the dissolution process. Humanity's newly developed observation technologies captured the event in real time, a terrifying dance of cosmic deconstruction that challenged everything known about astrophysics. "We're not just observing," Dr. Zora Novak told her team. "We're learning how to prevent this from happening to us." The sculptors' transmissions became more frequent, more urgent. They were no longer just sharing knowledge. They were collaborating on a survival strategy. Each message was a piece of a cosmic puzzle, revealing more about the nature of the threat and potential methods of resistance. Global unity emerged in a way never before seen in human history. National boundaries became meaningless in the face of an existential threat that could consume entire civilizations. The space exploration programs of every nation merged into a single coordinated effort. Quantum communication networks, developed from alien technologies, allowed for unprecedented global coordination. Researchers in Tokyo could work in real time with colleagues in Sao Paulo, sharing insights and developing strategies faster than ever before. As the year drew to a close, humanity found itself in an impossible position. They were no longer just a species exploring the cosmos. They were now its potential defenders. The void dissolution was coming, and humanity was preparing to fight back. Humanity's response. The final battle for cosmic survival began not with a bang, but with a whisper of quantum calculations and impossible mathematics. Dr. Zora Novak stood at the command center of the Prometheus station, a massive space research facility that orbited the outer edges of the solar system. Around her, holographic displays tracked the approaching cosmic threat with terrifying precision. Years of preparation, countless collaborations with the sculptors, and humanity's most brilliant minds had converged for this moment. The void dissolution was no longer an abstract concept. It was a tangible enemy, a cosmic phenomenon that consumed entire star systems, unraveling the very fabric of space-time, and humanity was about to fight back. Dr. Marcus Rodriguez's voice crackled through the communication system. Quantum cascade generators are at full capacity. We're ready to implement the combined human sculptor defense protocol. What had started as a simple message decades ago had transformed into the most sophisticated defense mechanism ever conceived. The sculptors had not just shared knowledge, they had guided humanity to develop a revolutionary approach to cosmic preservation. Elena Kaminsky, now the chief strategist of the Interstellar Defense Initiative, had spent years developing a multi-layered defense strategy. It wasn't about stopping the void dissolution. It was about understanding it, redirecting it, and potentially transforming it. Initiating quantum entanglement sequence, Aisha Patel announced, her fingers dancing across holographic control panels. The entire Prometheus station hummed with an energy that defied conventional physics. Technologies born from alien transmissions, human innovation, and decades of collaborative research were about to be tested. The first wave of the void dissolution approach, a ripple of darkness that seemed to consume light itself. Traditional weapons would have been useless, but humanity had learned to think beyond traditional boundaries. Quantum generators created a massive energy field that began to interact with the approaching cosmic threat. It wasn't destruction they sought, but transformation. Years of studying the sculptor's communications had revealed that the void dissolution was not a malevolent force, but a fundamental process of cosmic reorganization. We're not fighting, Dr. Zoran Novak realized in that moment. We're communicating. The energy field expanded, creating a complex quantum interface with the approaching cosmic phenomenon. Instead of resistance, humanity offered understanding. The technologies developed over decades, quantum communication, advanced material science, revolutionary energy systems, became the language of cosmic negotiation. Billions watched from Earth as the massive energy field began to interact with the void dissolution. It was like watching two intelligent entities engage in a complex dance, each movement precise, each interaction laden with meaning. Hours passed, then days. The cosmic threat did not advance. It did not retreat. It began to change. When the final transmission came from the sculptors, it was brief but profound. You understand now. The message read, survival is not about resistance. It's about communication. The void dissolution transformed before their eyes, revealing patterns of cosmic reconstruction that no civilization had ever witnessed before. Humanity had not defeated a threat. They had evolved beyond it. Dr. Marcus Rodriguez looked at his team, tears in his eyes. What had begun with a simple message decades ago had led to this moment, humanity's greatest achievement. Not conquest, not destruction, but understanding. As the quantum field stabilized and the cosmic threat receded, a new chapter of human existence began. They were no longer just a species confined to a single planet. They were cosmic communicators, bridge builders between different forms of existence. The universe had sent a message. Humanity had learned to listen. And in that listening, they had found their true purpose.